It was a bright and frosty morning in Enchancia. Snow sparkled on the rooftops, and the castle garden was covered in a soft white blanket. Princess Sofia woke up to see the whole world shining like a snow globe. "Oh, it's so beautiful," she whispered as she ran to her window. But there was something strange about this snow. It was falling even though the royal weather wands hadn't called for it. "That's odd," Sofia said, tilting her head. "This snow feels magical." Just then, Clover hopped in, shaking snowflakes off his fur. "Sofia, you won't believe this. There's a talking snowman in the courtyard." Sofia's eyes widened. "A talking snowman? Clover, are you sure?" "I may be small, but I'm not crazy," Clover said. "He's out there singing about summer and warm hugs." Sofia giggled and hurried outside, and there in the middle of the courtyard was a cheerful snowman waving at the guards. He had a big carrot nose, twig arms, and a joyful smile. "Hi, I'm Olaf, and I like warm hugs." Sofia smiled kindly. "Hello, Olaf. I'm Princess Sofia. Welcome to Enchancia." Olaf gasped with excitement. "A princess? Oh, wow. I've never met one before. Well, except Queen Elsa, but she's all icy and sparkly. You're warm and sparkly." Sofia laughed. "How did you get here, Olaf? We don't usually have visitors from Arendelle." Olaf thought for a moment, scratching his thick head. One minute I was helping Anna make snow cookies, and the next I slipped through a swirly snow portal. And now I'm here." Sofia's amulet glowed faintly. "That sounds like magic," she said softly. "Maybe the amulet brought you here for a reason." But before she could think more, a sharp voice echoed through the trees. "Ah, what have we here? A snowman out his kingdom, and a princess too busy playing to notice the magic she's disturbed." Sofia turned. From the snowy mist stepped Miss Nettle, her green gown fluttering like thorns in the wind. "Miss Nettle!" Sofia gasped. "What are you doing here?" Miss Nettle smirked. "Collecting what's mine, dear. I sense a powerful frost spell, and I plan to use it to freeze Enchancia and make it my own crystal garden." Olaf blinked. "Wait, freeze everything? That doesn't sound very warm or huggy." "Silence, Snowball!" Miss Nettle snapped, waving her wand. A burst of icy light shot toward Olaf. Sofia quickly raised her amulet. "Protego!" she shouted, forming a glowing purple shield around her and Olaf. The spell deflected and hit a nearby tree, turning it into ice. "Impressive," Miss Nettle said with a sly grin. "But your magic won't last forever." With that, she vanished in a swirl of green sparkles, leaving only a trail of frozen petals behind. Sofia lowered her shield and looked around. The air felt colder, and even the sunlight seemed dimmer. "She's planning something big," Sofia said softly. Olaf shivered. "I've met some scary snow before, but this is extra chilly." "What do we do, Sofia?" Sofia thought for a moment. "We find where Miss Nettle went. But first, we need help. Maybe Cedric knows more about frost magic." "Cedric?" Olaf asked. "Is he a snow wizard?" Sofia giggled. "Something like that. Come on." As they walked toward Cedric's tower, Olaf hummed happily, leaving a trail of tiny snowflakes. "You know, even when it's scary, adventure is better with friends," he said cheerfully. Sofia smiled at him. "You're right, Olaf. And I have a feeling we'll need to stick together to stop Miss Nettle this time." But as they approached the tower, a strange wind swept through the courtyard. The snowflakes around them began to glow blue. A voice whispered through the air, soft yet full of power. "Find the heart of winter before she does, or all will turn to ice." Sofia froze. "Did you hear that?" Olaf gulped. "Uh-huh. And I'm starting to think this snow isn't as fun as I thought." The whisper faded, leaving only the soft sound of falling snow. Sofia looked up at the sky, her eyes shining with determination. "We'll find the heart of winter," she said firmly, "and we'll stop Miss Nettle before Enchancia freezes forever." Olaf nodded bravely, though his carrot nose wobbled. "Let's do it. But can we have hot cocoa first?" Sofia laughed. "After we save the kingdom, Olaf. After." The two friends hurried off toward the tower, unaware that Miss Nettle was already watching from a distance, her icy plans unfolding. And deep in the forest, something glowed faintly. A crystal snowflake pulsing with ancient magic. The heart of winter had awakened. Snowflake. Sofia and Olaf hurried through the snowy courtyard towards Cedric's tower. The flakes were falling faster now, swirling in little spirals as if the wind itself had a secret. Sofia's amulet glowed a soft purple light, guiding their way. Cedric opened the door just as they arrived, bundled in his long cloak, his hat slightly crooked. "Princess Sofia, what are you doing out in this dreadful weather?" Sofia caught her breath. "Miss Nettle is back, and she's using frost magic. We think she's trying to find something called the Heart of Winter." Cedric's eyes widened. "The Heart of Winter?" he repeated. "Oh, no. That's not good. That's ancient magic, older than the kingdom itself. It's said to hold the power to freeze or unfreeze entire worlds." Olaf blinked. "Whole worlds. That's a lot of snow cones." Cedric frowned. "This is no laughing matter, Snowman. If Miss Nettle gets her hands on the heart, she could cover all of Enchancia in eternal ice." Sofia's face grew serious. "Then we have to find it first." Cedric opened a dusty book from his shelf and flipped through glowing pages. "Let's see. Here. The Heart of Winter rests where warmth and frost meet in harmony. The frozen glade beyond the crystal hills." Sofia nodded. "Then that's where we'll go." Cedric frowned again. "It's not that simple. The glade is protected by frost spirits. They test anyone who dares to enter. You'll need help." Sofia smiled. "That's why I have Olaf." Olaf stood proudly. "I may be made of snow, but I have a warm heart." Cedric sighed but smiled slightly. "Very well. Take this potion. It'll keep you from freezing solid. And Sofia, use your amulet wisely. The heart responds only to true kindness." Sofia thanked Cedric and stepped outside with Olaf. The wind was colder now, whispering warnings through the trees. As they traveled, the snowflakes shimmered like tiny crystals. Olaf chattered happily. "Do you think they have snowmen in the frozen glade? Maybe I'll meet my cousins." Sofia giggled. "Maybe, but we have to stay focused. Miss Nettle could already be on her way." After hours of walking, they reached the crystal hills, tall cliffs covered in glowing blue ice. "Wow!" Olaf whispered. "It's like the sky turned into a mountain." At the base of the hills, they found a frozen archway shaped like wings. A soft blue light pulsed inside it. Sofia stepped forward, her amulet glowing brighter. This must be the entrance. But before they could move closer, a flurry of snow rose before them, forming into shimmering shapes. The frost spirits. They were tall and elegant, made of pure ice, their eyes glowing like stars. One of them spoke, its voice like wind on glass. "Who seeks the heart of winter?" Sofia bowed politely. "I am Princess Sofia of Enchancia. I seek the heart not for power, but to protect my kingdom." Olaf waved his thick arm. "And I'm Olaf. I like warm hugs." The spirits exchanged curious glances. Warmth within frost. "You may pass, princess, but only if your heart stays true when the cold tests you." Before Sofia could thank them, the spirits vanished into the snow, leaving the archway glowing brighter. She and Olaf stepped through, and instantly the world around them changed. They were now inside the frozen glade. The air shimmered with magic, and the trees sparkled with frost-covered gems. In the center stood a pedestal of crystal, and on it rested a glowing snowflake. The Heart of Winter. Olaf's eyes widened. "It's beautiful." Sofia stepped closer, but before she could touch it, a sharp laugh echoed around them. How touching! The little princess found it first. Miss Nettle appeared, her green cloak swirling with icy wind. "But the heart belongs to me now." "Miss Nettle, please," Sofia said calmly. "This magic isn't meant for harm. It will only bring sadness." Miss Nettle smirked. "Sadness or power, it's all the same if you rule it." She lifted her wand, and the snowstorm around them grew stronger. Olaf slipped on the ice. "Whoa! Watch out for her." A blast of frost shot toward them. Sofia raised her amulet again, forming a glowing purple barrier. The two forces collided, sending a shockwave of blue and violet light across the glade. Miss Nettle's eyes gleamed. You're stronger than before, Princess, but let's see how long you last. She swung her wand again, sending shards of ice flying. Sofia ducked, shielding Olaf. The amulet pulsed, glowing brighter and brighter, until a warm light pushed back the storm. The heart of winter began to hum softly, as if it could feel Sofia's kindness. The ice around them melted slightly, revealing sparkling blue flowers underneath. Miss Nettle growled. No, it listens to you. Sofia looked at her. Because magic should serve good, not greed. But before she could finish, Miss Nettle summoned a burst of dark frost that wrapped around the heart, dimming its glow. You can't win, Princess. Soon, all of Enchancia will be mine. With a flash of green light, Miss Nettle vanished, taking the heart of winter with her. Olaf gasped. Oh no, she took it. Sofia stood quietly, clutching her amulet. We'll get it back. We have to. The frost spirits reappeared, their voices soft and sad. The balance is broken. The heart is fading. Sofia looked up at them. Tell me how to save it. The heart must be restored by the warmth of friendship, one spirit said. Find a flame of hope. Only it can melt the darkness. Sofia nodded firmly. Then that's what we'll do. Olaf puffed out his chest. Don't worry, Sofia. We'll bring back the light, one warm hug at a time. Sofia smiled. Let's go, Olaf. The flame of hope is waiting. As they left the glade, snow fell gently around them, not cold this time, but soft like the promise of light returning. The wind howled across the mountains as Sofia and Olaf made their way down from the frozen glade. The snow was heavier now, and the sky shimmered with faint green light, a sign that Miss Nettle's magic was spreading. Olaf trotted beside Sofia, his stick arm swinging. So, where exactly do we find this flame of hope? It sounds warm and cozy, which is my favorite kind of flame. Sofia smiled gently. The frost spirits said it can melt the darkness. I think it's not just fire, Olaf. It's a kind of magic born from kindness and friendship. Olaf nodded thoughtfully. Oh, then you already have it, Sofia. You're the kindest friend ever. Sofia giggled, her cheeks pink from the cold. Thank you, Olaf. But we'll still need to find where it's kept. The spirits wouldn't have sent us if it was easy. As they walked, the snow suddenly stopped falling. The air around them grew calm, and the clouds parted to reveal a glowing mountain peak in the distance. At the top shimmered a soft orange light, flickering gently like a candle. There! Sofia pointed. That must be the flame of hope. Olaf gasped. It looks beautiful. Let's go before Miss Nettle gets there first. The two hurried toward the mountain, their footsteps crunching in the snow. But as they climbed higher, the wind grew stronger. Strange shadows danced across the ice, whispers of Miss Nettle's dark magic. At one narrow ledge, a gust of icy wind nearly knocked Olaf off his feet. Whoa! I don't think my snow is made for mountain climbing, he cried. Sofia grabbed his twig hand and pulled him close. Hold on, Olaf. We can do this together. Her amulet glowed softly, warming the air around them. Bit by bit, they made their way upward until they reached a glittering ice gate carved with swirling runes. In the center of the gate was a riddle written in glowing letters. Only hearts that shine with hope may light the flame. Sofia touched her amulet. I think this means we need to believe. Truly believe that light can overcome darkness. Olaf tilted his head. I believe in hugs. Do those count? Sofia laughed. I think that's exactly the kind of hope it means. She closed her eyes and whispered softly, I believe in kindness, in friendship, in the good inside every heart, even Miss Nettle's. A warm breeze brushed her face, and the gate shimmered. The ice melted away, revealing a cave filled with glowing crystals. In the center stood a golden lantern burning with a small, beautiful flame, the flame of hope. Sofia and Olaf stepped closer, the air around them gentle and bright. The flame seemed to recognize Sofia, flickering happily. It's so warm, Olaf said, smiling dreamily. I feel like a summer breeze. Sofia reached out carefully, and as her hand neared the lantern, the flame rose higher, wrapping her in a golden glow. She felt peace and courage filling her heart. But just as she was about to take the lantern, A blast of icy wind struck the cave entrance. Miss Nettle appeared, her eyes glowing blue. "So, the little princess thinks she can stop me again?" she sneered. Sofia stood firm. "You don't have to do this, Miss Nettle. The heart of winter's magic doesn't belong to anyone." Miss Nettle scoffed. "Oh, please. Do you know how long I've been ignored by fairies? Mocked by royal sorcerers? Power is the only way to be seen." Olaf stepped forward. "But people don't see you because of power. They see you when you're kind, like Sofia." "Silence, Snowball." Miss Nettle snapped, sending a shard of ice toward him. Sofia's amulet glowed brighter. She raised her hand, and the golden flame leaped from the lantern, forming a barrier of warm light that melted the ice instantly. "Stop, Miss Nettle," Sofia pleaded. "The heart of winter is fading. If you keep using dark frost, it will destroy everything, even you." Miss Nettle hesitated, her wand trembling. For a moment, her expression softened, but then the shadow magic pulsed stronger, surrounding her in blue fire. "I won't stop," she cried. "I'll control the heart and make Enchancia bow before me." Sofia looked at Olaf. "We have to get the flame to the heart before it's too late." Olaf nodded bravely. "Then let's melt some evil." Sofia took the lantern, and together they ran toward the mountain path. Behind them, Miss Nettle screamed in fury, her frost magic chasing them like a storm. The air turned icy and shards of blue light rained down, freezing the rocks under their feet. "Faster, Olaf," Sofia called. "The flame can't go out." Olaf puffed, his little snow legs working hard. "I'm trying. Running isn't easy when you're made of snow." Suddenly, Miss Nettle's magic struck the ground ahead of them, forming a wall of ice. They skidded to a stop. Miss Nettle appeared behind them, her wand raised. "It's over, Princess." Sofia looked at the flame of hope glowing in her hands. "No, Miss Nettle, it's not over, because hope never freezes." She lifted the lantern high. The flame burst upward, sending golden light across the mountain. The icy wall melted instantly, revealing the path ahead. Miss Nettle shielded her eyes. "No, it's too bright." Sofia turned to her. "You can still change, Miss Nettle. You can still choose light." Miss Nettle stepped back, the darkness flickering around her. For a moment, her expression was uncertain. But then, with a cold glare, she vanished into a swirl of frost. The storm faded, and the flame of hope burned brighter than ever. Olaf sighed in relief. "Phew, that was close." "So, what now?" Sofia smiled softly. "Now, we take the flame to the heart of winter, before it's too late." As they headed down the glowing path, the sky slowly cleared and stars twinkled above them. Sofia held the lantern close, its light guiding their way through the night. The fate of Enchancia now rested on their courage and the warmth of one small, golden flame. The night was quiet as Sofia and Olaf made their way down the icy slopes, the golden lantern glowing softly in Sofia's hands. The flame of hope flickered warmly, lighting their path through the dark forest. But as they walked, the air grew colder again. The trees were coated with thick ice, and the moonlight shimmered faintly through the frost. Sofia's amulet pulsed with a warning glow. "Something's wrong," she whispered. Olaf looked around nervously. "Do you think Miss Nettle's following us again? Because I'm not sure my snow can handle another frost fight." Sofia gave him a reassuring smile. "Stay close, Olaf. We'll be all right. We just have to get the flame back to the heart of winter before she does." The wind began to howl, carrying a faint laugh, cold and cruel. "You think you can stop me, Princess?" The voice echoed all around them. "The heart is already mine." Olaf gulped. "Okay, that's definitely Miss Nettle. And she sounds extra cranky." Suddenly, the ground trembled. A huge swirl of snow and ice rose up before them, forming a tornado of frost. From within it stepped Miss Nettle, her gown glowing with dark blue energy. Her wand pulsed with the same light as the stolen heart of winter. Sofia gasped. "Miss Nettle, what have you done?" Miss Nettle smiled wickedly. "I've merged my magic with the heart. Now its power is mine. Soon, the entire kingdom will bow before my frozen rule." Olaf shook his head. That's not very friendly. Miss Nettle ignored him and raised her wand. The snow around them began to rise, forming icy spikes. Goodbye, little princess. But before she could strike, the flame of hope in Sophia's lantern flared brighter, surrounding her and Olaf in a golden shield. The icy spikes melted before they could touch them. Sophia's eyes glowed with determination. You may have the heart, Miss Nettle, but I have something stronger. Hope. Miss Nettle hissed. We'll see how long your hope lasts in the storm. With a flick of her wand, a massive blizzard erupted. The sky darkened, and snow swirled in wild circles. Sophia could barely see, but she held the lantern close. The flame's light flickered weakly. Don't go out, Sophia whispered. We need you. Olaf huddled beside her, shivering. It's okay, Sophia. We just need to think warm thoughts, like cocoa and hugs. And, oh no, my nose. His carrot nose flew off into the storm. Sophia laughed softly despite the cold. We'll find it later, Olaf. For now, we have to keep going. She closed her eyes, focusing on the warmth inside her heart, the same warmth the flame carried. We can't give up, she said firmly, because as long as we believe, the light will never fade. The flame suddenly grew brighter, bursting through the storm like sunlight. The blizzard slowed, and the snow melted around them. When the air cleared, Sophia and Olaf found themselves standing on a frozen lake. In the center stood Miss Nettle, surrounded by swirling ice crystals and holding the glowing heart of winter above her head. It's beautiful, isn't it? Miss Nettle said, her voice soft but full of power. Pure, endless ice. Soon it will cover everything, even your castle. Sophia stepped forward carefully. Miss Nettle, you don't have to do this. You want to be seen, and you can be. You're talented. You're powerful. You don't need to take from others. For a moment, Miss Nettle's expression wavered. You think anyone would see me without power? Yes, Sophia said gently. Because I see you. I always have. Olaf waddled forward, smiling warmly. And I'd give you a hug, too, if you promise not to freeze me. Miss Nettle blinked. For a brief second, her icy blue eyes softened, but then the heart pulsed violently in her hands. No, I can't stop now. The magic, it's too strong. The heart's glow grew brighter, and cracks of ice spread across the lake. The frozen surface began to tremble. Sophia, Olaf cried, the ice is breaking. Sophia looked around desperately. If the heart keeps overflowing, it'll destroy everything, even her. She raised a flame of hope high, and its golden light filled the air. Heart of winter, she called, her voice steady. Remember your true purpose, to bring balance, not destruction. The two powers clashed, blue frost against golden light. The shock wave threw Sophia backward, but she held the lantern tightly. Please, she whispered, help her see the good again. The golden flame burst upward, wrapping Miss Nettle and the heart in warm light. The ice around them cracked and melted, revealing glimmers of pure crystal beneath. Miss Nettle gasped as her dark magic began to fade. The blue glow in her eyes dimmed, replaced by tears. What have I done? Sophia stepped closer. You can fix it, Miss Nettle. We can fix it together. Miss Nettle hesitated, then lowered the heart of winter toward the lantern. The golden flame and the blue crystal touched, and in an instant, the storm stopped. The sky cleared, revealing a bright sunrise. The snow sparkled like diamonds, and the heart of winter glowed softly once more, restored to balance. Olaf blinked. Did we just save the world? Sophia smiled, her breath forming little clouds in the air. Maybe just Enchancia. Miss Nettle looked down, her voice quiet. I didn't deserve your help, princess. Sophia shook her head kindly. Everyone deserves a second chance. For the first time, Miss Nettle smiled, a real, gentle smile. Perhaps I'll try to be the fairy I once was. Olaf clapped his twig hands. Yay! Does this mean no more frost spells? Miss Nettle chuckled softly. No promises, little snowman. The three of them stood together on the shimmering lake, watching the sun rise over Enchancia. But far above them in the clouds, a faint shadow moved, a reminder that magic, Even the good kind never truly rests. Sofia glanced up, her amulet glowing once more. Something tells me our adventure isn't over yet. Olaf grinned. As long as it doesn't involve heat, I'm ready. Sofia laughed, the sound echoing across the thawing hills as the world slowly returned to peace. The morning sun shone brightly over the sparkling fields of Enchancia. The snow that once covered the land had melted into glittering streams, and birds were singing again. Princess Sofia stood at the edge of the meadow beside Olaf and Miss Nettle, looking out at the beauty they had helped restore. "It feels like the whole world is smiling again," Sofia said softly, holding the heart of winter in her hands. The crystal glowed faintly, now calm and pure. Olaf twirled around happily, his carrot nose finally back in place. "I love this weather. Not too hot, not too cold. It's perfect snowman temperature." Miss Nettle gave a small chuckle. "You're a strange little snow creature, Olaf. But I must admit, your optimism is refreshing." Sofia smiled at both of them. "We couldn't have done this without you, Miss Nettle." The fairy looked away, her expression soft but uncertain. "After everything I've done, I hardly deserve any thanks." Sofia shook her head kindly. "That's not true. What matters is what you chose to do at the end. You saved the heart and Enchancia." Miss Nettle sighed, her wand glowing faintly. "Perhaps it's time I start using my magic for good again. Maybe I could even help care for the heart of winter, make sure it stays balanced." "That sounds wonderful," Sofia said. "The heart could use someone strong and wise to protect it." Olaf raised his twig hand. "And maybe someone who likes snowmen, too." Miss Nettle laughed softly. "We'll see about that." They began walking back toward the castle. The forest, once frozen and silent, now shimmered with life. Tiny fairies darted through the air, sprinkling frost dust that sparkled like diamonds. The animals peeked out from the trees, watching the trio pass by. As they neared the castle, the gates opened, and Queen Miranda, King Roland, and the royal family came rushing out. "Sofia!" her mother cried, pulling her into a warm embrace. "We were so worried." Sofia hugged her tightly. "I'm fine, Mom, and everything's back to normal now." King Roland looked at Miss Nettle, surprised. "Miss Nettle? I didn't expect to see you here. Peacefully, at least." The fairy bowed her head respectfully. "Your Majesty, I've made many mistakes. But Princess Sofia has shown me that even winter can learn to bloom again. I'd like to make things right." Roland nodded thoughtfully. "That's a noble wish. If Sofia believes in you, then so do I." Olaf beamed. "See? Everyone loves a good redemption story." The royal family laughed, and the tension that had once filled the air melted away like snow in springtime. Later that evening, a grand celebration was held in the castle courtyard. Lanterns floated in the air, and music filled the night. The courtyard was decorated with icy blue ribbons and silver lights, a tribute to winter's beauty and its peaceful return. Olaf danced clumsily with the other guests, spinning and giggling. "I'm a natural dancer. Wait, whoops!" He tripped and tumbled into a snow pile, popping up proudly. "Still got it." Sofia laughed and clapped. "You're amazing, Olaf." Meanwhile, Miss Nettle stood at the edge of the celebration, quietly watching the joy around her. She seemed unsure whether she belonged there. Sofia noticed and walked over. "You don't have to stay on the side. You know, you're part of this too." Miss Nettle smiled faintly. "It's been a long time since anyone said that to me." Sofia reached out her hand. "Then maybe it's time to change that." The fairy hesitated for a moment, then took Sofia's hand. Together, they stepped into the courtyard as fireworks of golden and blue light burst across the sky. The heart of winter, resting safely in a crystal case nearby, glowed in harmony with the lights above. As the music slowed, Sofia looked at her amulet, the amulet of Avalor, which shimmered softly. "I think the magic is happy, too," she said with a gentle smile. Miss Nettle nodded. "Perhaps this is what true power feels like, not control, but peace." Olaf waddled up with 2 cups of cocoa. "Peace and cocoa. That's my kind of magic." They laughed together as the stars twinkled overhead. The night was calm, the kind of calm that only comes after a long storm has passed. When the celebration ended, Sophia and Olaf walked to the castle balcony. The moonlight cast a silver glow across the land, and snowflakes drifted gently from the sky, soft, slow, and peaceful. Olaf looked up with a happy sigh. You know, Sophia, I think snow feels even more magical when it's kind. Sophia smiled warmly. You're right, Olaf. Magic is always brightest when it comes from the heart. Behind them, Miss Nettle appeared quietly, her wand shimmering faintly. The heart of winter is safe now, she said softly, and I promise to guard it well. Sophia turned to her. Thank you, Miss Nettle, for everything. Miss Nettle gave a small bow. No, Princess, thank you for reminding me that warmth and light can exist even in the coldest places. A soft wind passed through, carrying a swirl of snowflakes that sparkled like tiny stars. Olaf twirled happily. I think this might be my favorite day ever. Sophia laughed. Mine too, Olaf. As they stood together, a princess, a fairy, and a snowman, the stars above seemed to shine brighter, as if the universe itself was smiling at the peace below. And deep within the mountains, the heart of winter pulsed softly, no longer cold and distant, but glowing with a gentle warmth. The storm was over. The light had returned. And in Enchancia, hope would forever be the warmest kind of magic. Sparkling Heart Sparkles. The end.